If you went to school in the US or Israel, you've probably studied the Diary of Anne Frank and know that it's the journal of a young Jewish girl who went into hiding during World War II. Her story is incredibly moving and it's gained worldwide recognition. Turns out there's also an opera called The Diary of Anne Frank that's been translated into more than 50 languages all over the world. But it's just now being shown in Israel and in Hebrew for the first time. Opera singer ILTV plays the role of Anne Frank in the opera. She's here to tell us more about it. Thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
So first of all, tell us a little more about The Diary of Anne Frank and what your role is in the opera.
Well, The Diary of Anne Frank is a wonderful opera of about 20 parts, 20 pieces, and they are actually parts of the diary itself. It's originally for orchestra of about 22 pieces. It's by Gregory Fried, a wonderful end of the 1920 composer of opera. Absolutely. The opera is very moving and shows actually the life of Anne Frank in a very emotional and very moving moments.
I'm sure the story is very moving anyway, and adding opera to it just brings that out more.
Right.
So how are you preparing for this role? I understand you're still preparing for it.
Right. I actually haven't gotten all the translation. The translator is Dudi Zeba. He's the head of the opera studio and the conductor of Ra'anana Symphony, a very talented figure in the music world in Israel. He's translating the opera to Hebrew. It's been a very moving, exciting process because I'm getting like every 2 days a new translation, and the opera is revealed to me, and I'm learning it as I go through. I'm learning, and I'm getting more and more into the role of Anne Frank, which will be performed very soon in May 1st.
Wow, fantastic. So now it's coming in May. Why do you think it took so long to bring the opera to Israel, this story that is so Jewish and something that's so important to the Jewish people? Why did that take so long?
The truth is I have no idea why, because it is such an important opera. I know that there was, they tried to bring it to Israel for a while, and Ehud Manor, which is one of the famous songwriters, was supposed to translate it, and somehow it didn't work. And I have gotten a lot of different people kind of asking me to do it. So finally it came to life, and I'm doing it. And it's a very important, I feel like it's a very important culture thing for Israel. The cast is wonderful. We have a wonderful director, Alex Kagan, who directed operas in Israel and in Germany. The pianist, Bart Berman, is from Holland, and he has a very strong connection to the Holland community all over the world. Yeah. And we have a wonderful narrator, Alex Ansky, which is one of the important actors in Israel.
Wow, fantastic. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit. I wanted to ask you about opera in general. We know that opera is art, it's also entertaining. Do you think it also plays a role in education? Is that something we should implement in Israel?
Oh, definitely, especially since the young generation is not much exposed to opera in our country. I feel one of my goals is to expose them to opera from a very young age. Opera Piccola comes up with another show called Opera in the Circus, and Opera in the Circus is to introduce opera to kids from a very young age. I've been in touch with the Department of Education to try and have the Diary of Anne Frank and Opera in the Circus introduced to schools and adolescents so they can be much more aware and exposed to the genre. I think it doesn't get enough credit in Israel.
Definitely.
And there's a lot of other, there's the Israeli opera, which is growing and is wonderful and has wonderful shows, but there's not a lot of other small companies compared to other places in the world.
Now, speaking of small companies, you said you have also done a bit of your own venture, correct? Can you tell us more about that?
Correct, yeah. So the Diary of Anne Frank is actually part of one of my productions of Opera Piccola. Opera Piccola, I've done 4 productions: Opera in the Circus, The Telephone, Le Villi, which is Puccini's first opera, and this is the fourth opera that Opera Piccola is producing. I have recently returned to Israel after 8 years in the United States, which there I was exposed to many small companies that were very successful and were very entertaining. And I decided to do that in Israel as well. I feel it's very challenging, but I'm up for the task and it's going well.
Well, fantastic. We're so glad you returned and that you're doing this. Thank you so much for coming in.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.